website right now and download my free course on alternate picking mastery. It contains 5 essential exercises that will take you to alternate picking mastery faster than you can imagine. And then I've included my method of how to lay out a practice plan in just 1 to 2 minutes that will absolutely boost your results like nothing you ever tried before. So go download it right now. It's free. Hey, because we think that time is of the essence, time is the most important factor when it comes to practicing. Practice hours and then how long, how many years have you been practicing? Because that is our basic view of everything, right? Of how to get the result we want, we shoot ourselves in the foot, or both legs to be more accurate. That is really one of the most toxic things you can have in your mind. And people go, why? What are you talking about? The first question people ask anyone who has impressive skills on this instrument is, for how many years have you been playing? And why do we ask that question? To determine the basic connection between the cause and the effect, right? How many years have you been playing? Like, nobody asks, or some people ask, what did you put into those years, right? Like the result just happened automatically if you just play once in a while, right? So that's the next question. How many hours did you put in every day? That's not, let me tell you, let me just focus on something. Any scientist who's tried to determine the cause of the effect has a rule. And that is, if you determine the cause, then in no way can you find examples of the cause being present and not the effect. It's not like I found the reason for that disease, but then we have 10 people over here who weren't exposed to that reason and they still have the disease. Well, you haven't found the cause yet of the effect, right? And so if I can find people who's been practicing for 30 years, who put in the time and didn't get the result, then time and effort cannot be the determining factors of guitar mastery. Am I right? Are there any people out there who's been playing for 30 years without getting the result they want? There are plenty, thousands, hundreds of thousands. So how is time and effort the main determinants of your success? Right? We believe a lie. And how does that lie really come into effect and produce a negative result? Well, every time you get frustrated about your development, every time you get like, I want to develop faster. Why isn't this? I want to go faster, right? Every time, then you go to, I need to be patient and I need to have self-discipline. So even though I don't enjoy practicing because I don't get results, I have to have self-discipline enough to keep going. And I have to be patient enough to wait for my result. So we got 100,000 people out there who believe in this lie and who keep practicing. And they try to be self-disciplined and patient, which only works for, a couple of days. And then you just go, ugh, right? And the result is you go back and forth like that all the time because we believe a lie. So what we need to understand in order to make the right evaluation when we get frustrated with our development is to ask, what is really the determinant factor of whether or not you get there? And to find that, let's look at people who have the skill level we want. What did they do? Okay, they practiced a lot and they played for a lot of years, right? That's the thing we see. No, let's go a little deeper. A fact of everyone who has the skills they have is that they have periods of intense practicing and then almost no practicing. So it's the opposite of the patient, self-disciplined effort. It's like total passion and then breaking through and putting in way too many hours for them to be able to sustain that over time, right? Way too much energy, thinking too much about it, visualizing scale shapes, seeing yourself playing all the time, not being able to not sit with your guitar at every single moment it's possible. That's the behavior, and then going right, out of it again because you can't sustain that effort over time. And so that is really the main determinant. And then if you do that enough times over time, because you need those periods of, not being that passionate, because that's when the brain digests all those repetitions you gave it, all the intensity. It's like instead of trying to hack your way through a mountain to create a tunnel through it, you take out a stick of dynamite and you put it in there, right? And then you explode your way through the mountain. But those are explosions. Like you work to put in the dynamite, and then you've got a boom, an explosion, and a huge result in a split second. That's the way passion works. And then you have to put in the dynamite again. And the putting in, the carving out the little holes to get the dynamite into is the rest, is the just playing, just not being that passionate, letting your body and your brain digest all the repetitions, and then you're onto it again, because then you're ready for a new period of passion. That's how the body works. Back and forth, up and down. That's how nature works, the seasons. That's how the stock market works. That's how everything, it fluctuates. Right? That's the natural way of developing. But we don't see that because it takes a lot of time, because everyone I know who has top skills has been playing for 20 years. Well, how long did it actually take to develop the skills they have? Most people are just camping out. They develop the skills over a couple of years, and then they're just camping out for the rest of their career, basically. They don't develop at anywhere near the speed they did back then. I had campfire chord skills and strumming patterns, and then suddenly, all hell broke loose. And then I started practicing like that with total passion for a month or for a week or for 2 months. Like I had a project in my mind. Then I went insane practicing. And then I had a month where I didn't practice that much. It was just more haphazardly picking up my guitar, playing something. And then back to it again when I saw that video, heard that number, went to that concert, and I was all fired up again. I did that for 2 years, and I was very focused, and I, consumed by it at times. And that's where I built the majority of my skills. And then they matured as time went by, right? But I went from trying to alternate pick, to being able to, right? In 2 years, I went from, knowing one scale shape, the first precision blues scale shape, to knowing all pentatonic, all shapes across the neck, being able to go back and forth between them, the diatonic shapes, the major, because I was just consumed by scale shapes in my head, for periods of time. You can't create a result in 2 to 3 years like that if you just ooze along, having your little practice routine. You go back and forth between the different skills, and you work on that very logical level of, say, I need to practice these skills, and I need to do X, Y, and Z every day, and with self-discipline and effort and commitment and patience, I will one day arrive surely at my destination. No, you won't. It's not going to happen, because nobody got there by doing what you do. So let's look at what they did, or how they felt, basically, is the key, right? So I hope this changes your perspective on what it really takes. It does not take patience and your frustration is a gift. It's a signal that you should look for a better way, that there is a way to develop faster, that there is a way to practice more efficiently, that there is a way to focus more narrowly and get a result that you can really, bam, right? There are ways, and it's all in these YouTube videos. So subscribe and watch them all over and over and over again. Brainwash yourself with these messages until you cannot help but think like that and act like that, and get the results of people we say are super talented, because that's what happens when you do these things. And you start, but you have to work with this one in order to just, see how poisonous it can be to just accept how most people think about guitar practicing as it being a matter of how many years you've been practicing and how much you practice every day. It doesn't produce results. So, see you in the next video tomorrow.
Subscribe for more free videos. Do it. Do it now. Do it.